trainers, welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Pokedeck.
I'm the Dancing Bear at first base.
And today on Pokemon TCG, we have North American Intercontinental Meta Forecast. So, like always, it's going to be a long video, so buckle up, get comfortable.
You know the drill.
Enjoy the ride. So let's start off eliminating decks straight away. Let me back up. Let's explain kind of how we tier them. Everyone tiers them differently. This is how we tier. We base our list off of what's going to be most popular in conjunction with how strong the deck is. But I would say it's more like 70% how popular, how likely you are to see the deck per round, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 30% is how actually strong is the deck. So,
Rogue and Tier 2, how they work is if we think the deck is strong, but not very many people are going to play it, that's when we put it in Tier 3. And if it's a deck, say, like in Cineroar, it had its time to shine. We put it in Tier 3, but now we come to the conclusion that we think it's Rogue. It's just not as strong as it used to be, and
that's
it's not going to be popular.
That's why all this gets confused, because people tier it differently than how we do, and honestly, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, okay? It's just how you receive this information that we give you and how you apply it or whatever. So, just because we put a deck in Rogue doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means it may not be popular. Out of what, there's usually 15, 16 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
How many times are you going to actually see this deck? It may be the best deck in the format. It has answers to the 3 most popular decks, but how many people are actually going to play it or know about it?
True.
And of course, you can't go by this tier system. Well, if this deck techs these cards, then it automatically jumps up. Because as soon as you start teching for one matchup, then you lose over here to this matchup. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak.
Yep.
So let's immediately put some decks into Rogue. What will you for sure not see? And this is hard because this is the biggest tournament of the year, and so you're likely to see anything. There's probably gonna be like 1,500 Masters, so you could see honestly any deck. But what's the least likely that you're gonna see? Cineroar? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of already mentioned it.
It's solid. It doesn't really have any good matchups, and it doesn't really have any terrible matchups. So do you want to start like this, or do you want to start with Tier 1 and then we can...
I mean, all the other times we started Tier 1 and went our way down.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. But for now, it stays in Rogue.
Yeah, it can stay there.
Alright, so what is going to be above and beyond? This is a no-brainer. What is going to be the most popular...
Maybe not.
The absolute most popular deck out of everything.
Talking like that.
Yeah. There's one clear
I was just grabbing
choice.
Good deck.
I ain't...
Whoopsies.
This deck is going to be everywhere. There's different versions. There's Green Search version. There's the Drachi version. And there's probably like the Miltank version. There's so many different versions. So we're not covering each version. Just in general, you will definitely be sitting across the table from a Charizard Reshiram.
And it is a good deck.
It is extremely solid. Its bad matchups are very, very specific and very niche. And we can get into those a little later. But love the deck. It hits extremely hard. unless, it can even get around the water decks with Snorlax.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it has some solid answers to stuff that are trying to counter it.
Like the Zork and Gyarados or Zork is it Slow Burrow or Slow King?
Slow King.
Slow King. Just run the Snorlax and
Yeah,
power through.
you just wipe them out. There's no way for them to deal with Snorlax, really.
Turn 240.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's absolutely really good.
It's a monster.
How many rounds do you think you would see of it?
Oh, a lot.
If
Maybe 6.
I think it's safe to say you will probably play against 5.
Yeah, that's a good estimate.
If you make it to 15 rounds, then you're definitely probably going to play it 5 times. So I would not go into this tournament without testing against it several times, right?
Right.
It would be number 1 on our testing list. If the deck, the Dancing Bear, is thinking about playing, if it can't match up to Charizard Reshiram, then there's no point in playing the deck, in my opinion, right?
I definitely agree.
So what's going to be the second most popular deck?
Why do you keep saying that? That makes it more difficult.
No, it doesn't.
I just want to put my tier.
There we go. Second most popular deck. Easily, Zekrom and Pikachu. People are still playing it everywhere. It's still showing up in locals, cups, and some of the special events. It's good. Am I a fan of the deck? Not really, but that doesn't matter because the people that are playing it are seeing success.
Yeah.
How do you think this matchup goes? Because I do not like that matchup at all.
For whom?
For the Zekrom Pikachu.
Oh, no.
I think it gets basically obliterated, right?
The only thing that can save it is you're 10 short on the big attack.
If Charizard and Reshiram are playing 1 or 2 Volcanion, then there's absolutely no way. Because Zapdos can give the big guy some problems, but if they're playing Volcanion, then it's over, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, it's really good. It doesn't really have any bad matchups other than itself. I would say its worst matchup is itself and Charizard Reshiram.
It's another Greninja.
It's just not, in our opinion, as consistent as other decks, other options. So,
I would just rather play other decks, honestly.
So, now, third most popular, and this is definitely gaining momentum here. Super momentum. And I can't seem to find it. Green sleeves. There it is, over there. Zap Beast. We saw it in Origins.
Give it some
There was a couple in Origins, right?
Yeah.
It's gaining some momentum. You can hit hard into the Zekrom Pikachu. I think it has a really good matchup against Zekrom Pikachu, right?
Yeah. With the Buzzball being able to one-shot it really easily. That's 3 free prizes.
And it can give Charizard Reshiram problems too if the Charizard Reshiram doesn't play Volcanion, or if they don't play like Arcanine or the Turtonator, something like that, to deal with Zapdos efficiently.
That and the Baby Volcanion can't one-shot the Buzzball. It'd be 20 short.
Yep. So, if I was gonna play Charizard Reshiram, I would at least have 2 Volcanions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't feel comfortable with the Volcanions, then I would play like 1 Volcanion, then like a 1/1 Arcanine, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something along that line, or a 1 Turtonator, 1 Volcanion, something like that. I would have two options to deal with the Zapdos.
Yeah. That
But
sounds good.
if players aren't playing multiple little non-GX like that, then this Zap Beast can beat both of these. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, so that's definitely a good option to keep in mind. Going forward, when we get to at the end, when we give our picks, safe plays, and then our winning play, you know, we'll get into that here in a little bit. So, what else you got, Nancy Bear? We go into tier 2 or what?
Mm-hmm.
Or you got something else?
I kind of like the party balloon.
Grab it.
I'm a party man.
And you know what? Grab the other party balloon too.
Yeah, I meant both. I said that. Party man. Here.
Okay, I think honestly,
Oh.
these would be tier 1.5 if we had. Right on the edge. I think people are realizing just how good this is. And I think people have had enough time to perfect lists to where this is really good too. We saw it pop up in Origins yesterday. We've seen it do good in the last regional. It got a top 32 placement. People are now, they've had more time to test with these cards. They're more prepared. I would not be surprised to see a few in day 2 at Nationals. Or Intercontinental, excuse me. What do you think?
Our original list of Baby Blaze Fun wasn't too good. I'm actually kind of surprised people have perfected it, seeing how it played in the first tournament that we had in it.
Well, when you give people 2 or 3 weeks to really dial in a list, then they're going to get it working.
It's come a long way.
You know? If you were playing this with the perfected list, or would you rather play this?
I'd rather play the Big Blaze Fun.
I would too. I am super, super confident and comfortable with the big party balloon, right?
Yeah, I've seen you play it against me enough. I've played it enough. I feel pretty good about it.
I like possibly the choice helmet to shore up this matchup because of what we have here. I think I like its Charizard Reshiram matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with the Zapdos matchup. I'm not 100% comfortable.
I agree.
Liking it, but I'm okay with it. This matchup, though, if they get set up, then it just destroys this. So I think a choice helmet, something along that lines, rather than the choice band, could help out against Zekrom.
Yeah.
So I think you can. I think there's some room for some techs. The Baby Blaze Fun, I agree. I would rather play the Daddy Blaze Fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is still really good, and I would definitely expect to see. So is there anything else that are tier 1 or on the fringe?
I think that's it, unless you got one.
No, I think there's a tiny gap here between 1.5, like a 1.75, if you will, for one deck.
Jeez.
I know. How many rounds would you expect to see Zekrom Pikachu?
A good amount.
I'd say at least 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
Possibly 4. And then Zap Beast, or we can just throw the other Zapdos variant in there. That's fine. But Zapdos Beast has been the front runner. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to say regular Zapdos
Let's not do that.
is Rogue. Do you agree with that?
I do. I don't think it's going to be as popular as the Beast version.
Yeah, Zap Beast is definitely going to be the most popular version.
The typing helps a lot.
And this is a higher skill deck, so I would expect to see less of this than these two. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So in the order, most popular, second most popular, third most popular.
Yeah.
And then of these two, I think more people are comfortable with the Big Blaze Fun, so I would say it's like 4th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly 5th. Most popular.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into tier 2 deck that is just
Gaining momentum.
Oh my gosh, this deck is on fire. The DDG crew have took it to Origins. They had success, so now the lists are out there for people to start practicing. The Wheezing deck, the Wheezing spread deck. It is gaining momentum. In the past, I would say it was completely rogue, but it was still really, really good.
A solid tier 3.
Just not popular. But now it's elevated to the next level. It has a legitimate chance to beat regular Blazephon, Zekrom Pikachu, and Charizard Reshiram. There's no doubt in my mind it can take down these three. These two, I think it's going to struggle. So I definitely like its matchups. Very, very difficult deck to play. Very, very high skill cap.
I just realized that's still not the right Wheezing.
It's not the right Wheezing. It's a DCE for 40 and then 20 to everything. So don't pay any attention to that.
Or is it 20 to 2?
No, it's 20 to everything.
Okay.
So, like we said, it's gaining momentum. Performed really well at Origins. Performed at some other tournaments. So the lists are out there. People are having time. It's just like it's right there with Baby Balloon. People now have the lists. They're able to test it. They're able to perfect it. Get comfortable with it. Get confident. So where do you see it, Dancing Bear?
I think it's good.
Wow. Thanks for the in-depth analysis there.
Back to you, Poke Dad. No, I'm kidding. I think that since it's gotten enough time, Russell has said something about it just needs time. It's beauty. It just needs to get shined off. And I think it's finally gotten shined off. And now it's a jewel.
I think it's really good. Other tier 2. Lucario, Melmetal, and do you have the Rangaroo over there?
A Ranguru. Yeah.
Stall decks. So we don't have a stall deck built, so our Rangaroo is the Rangaroo Shedinja, and then you could play Lucario Melmetals like with Hoopa and stall stuff. So two different stall decks.
I like stall.
I'm not a fan of the archetype. It absolutely brought everybody by surprise at the regional, at Santa Clara Regional. So, do you expect it to show up in force again?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too, folks. These decks are going to need to tech in their field blowers. And they are definitely going to need to have baby options to deal with Hoopa or stuff like that, or field blowers to get rid of the Shedinjas, to knock out their stuff, to get prizes. So, yeah, right?
You're going to need a little things to get rid of the annoying stuff.
So, would you rather... So, if you're playing Charizard Reshiram, would you tech for this matchup?
Yeah, I'd throw in field blowers.
I would play at least 2 field blowers, right?
Because, honestly, that can help in every matchup.
Yep. So, I completely agree. At least 2 field blowers in the Charizard Reshiram deck, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so another tier 2 that has been gaining steam. I don't think just quite yet. Is there anything you have tier 2 that's like gaining momentum? Like possibly was Rogue or tier 3 and now it's pushed up into tier 2.
I don't know about gaining momentum. Maybe Ultra Necrozma, not gaining momentum and stuff, but maybe tier 2?
My problem with the Ultra Necrozma deck is you're seeing a rise in popularity of this, and this.
Yeah. Okay.
Not so much this of the two, but definitely this is a major problem for Malamar decks. Major, major problem.
Too aggressive. So what would you think on Ultra Necrozma?
I think it's tier 3. I think it's tier 3. I still think it's good. And if it hits the right matchups, it could see a lot of success. If it sees these two, I think it could be very successful. However, I don't necessarily like its matchup against Charizard Reshiram. Let me throw that out there. I like its matchup against Zekrom and Pikachu. Not a fan of the Charizard matchup. I think Charizard is just could be a little overwhelming and just very, very a turn 1 Kiawe and it's up and going, and it can streamline knockouts back to back on Necrozma. So even if it takes 4 prizes and Necrozma takes 3, you're still a prize up.
Takes 4 energies to knock out a Charizard Reshiram. If you only discard 3, then you're 10 short.
So I still like the Charizard, but I would not recommend it because of the rise in popularity of this. And, I honestly don't necessarily like the matchup against Blazefawn either, if we're being honest. And I haven't tested Baby Blazefawn against it, but I can't see that being favorable for Ultra Necrozma either.
Yep.
So it's a good deck, but I think the meta has to be just right. And I think in a heavy Zekrom Pikachu environment and less Zapdos and other stuff like that, I think it could excel.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough room for text to where you could kind of alter it to like a spread type version to make a big difference. I think I would keep it more streamlined, consistent. But right now, I would not recommend it.
It'll be good in rotation.
It is going to be good in rotation because you have the Mewtwo. You have the Mewtwo Mew that you can copy everything that Necrozma. So all of a sudden, Mewtwo Mew is able to get the one-hit KO very easily on everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I see you got Savali, Lucario, and Zoroark. You think any of those go into tier 2?
Zoroark, Savali gaining steam in conjunction, turn it into a water type Pokemon plus Kukui. You're hitting the one hit KO on. No. I think tier 3 on that.
Okay.
Unless you got something else. You can put the Zoroark or the Lycanroc down there too. So Zoroark variants. Let's put all Zoroark variants into tier 3. And here's why. Because even if they play Zoroark, Dugong, Persian, Charizard with a nice teched-in Snorlax destroys it, right?
Indeed.
And even Savali is not a for sure answer against Charizard. It definitely helps. But we're talking a lot of pieces to the puzzle here. We need a stage 1 in Savali. We need the water tool.
Memory.
And then we need the Kukui to one-hit KO. Because otherwise, we're only doing 240 damage to Charizard without the Kukui.
Why not Choice Band?
Well, then you're only going to do 150. You have to have the water tool to change it to water, plus the Kukui to do 280 damage.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, which makes it slightly less consistent than other options. But I do like the Savali option better than Dugong or Slowking, right?
Tap him with the GX attack.
Yep, the GX attack could get the KO.
Could.
For sure.
Gonna get the KO.
So, I mean, it's a decent option. But then you run into Blazefawn destroys it. Zapdos crushes it. I would have to imagine Baby Blazefawn puts the hurting on it too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Beast Zapdos.
And then you're running all those GXs and all that, so the spread type deck with Shrine is going to be annoying.
Well, the Weezing doesn't hit it because it's evolved.
Right, but I'm saying it's going to run like Coco and other stuff like that. that just is annoying for Zoroark type builds.
Yeah.
So of the Zoroark builds, there you have Slowking, which can one-hit KO the Charizard, but we've talked about Snorlax. So do you like Savali or do you like Slowking better? What you got, Dancing Bear?
Both are good in its own way. Savali, that's a lot of pieces to set up. Attaching 3 energies onto it.
Yep, I didn't even think about that. You need triple boost.
Yep, that's...
So there's more stuff you need.
And, I mean, Slowking is just one prize attacker. And, I mean, you can pretty much use it in every matchup if you wanted to. And I'm kind of leaning more towards the Slowking since it's a one prize attacker.
Well, see if this changes your mind.
Change me.
If you play Zoroark with Parasian GX, right?
Plug walk.
You can grab 2 cards that you want.
Mm-hmm.
When a GX is knocked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can grab whatever you need for your Savali. But also, you could play the Fighting Tool, and now all of a sudden, you're one-hit KOing with a smooth 120 times 2 on Zekrom Pikachu.
Oh.
So, I personally obviously like the Zoroark Slowking for more matchup specific against Charizard. I like Zoroark Savali because it's more versatile.
And then you can pancake or use Valley on their Pancake Master.
Yep, you can hit into Snorlax too. So it's a give and take. The Slowking is going to be more consistent. Savali, less consistent, but more versatile. So you're going to have the age-old argument, do you streamline for consistency or do you tech?
Good point.
So, but I personally like the Savali. I'm normally on the fence of go straight consistent because if the deck can't set up and do what it's supposed to, then you're never going to win anything, is usually my thinking behind building a deck or picking a deck. You can have all the techs in the world, but if you can't set those techs up, then what good are they?
True.
But in this situation, going into a massive field like the Intercontinental, I would go with Zoroark Savali over Zoroark Lycanroc or Zoroark Slowking.
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree with that. With how big it is, you're going to need the versatility. But I mean, consistency is still good.
I just don't like the other matchups. I don't like your Zapdos matchup because the Buzzwole is going to one-shot you.
Gross.
It's going to destroy your Zoroark.
Even more gross.
I'm probably not a fan of the Blaziken matchup. I'm probably not a fan of the Baby Blaziken matchup. You're probably not running really any non-GX attackers, so you could run into problems with the Lucario Melmetal or the other Oranguru Shedinja builds.
Gross.
So, I do like, of the Zoroark variants, I do like it the best, but I don't think I would recommend it.
Okay, I agree.
Okay? So, another deck that's kind of come out of nowhere that's gaining popularity.
Where?
We can kind of put both of them together. Spiritomb builds. Spiritomb builds, and we're starting to see Spiritomb with Honchkrow GX. Now, here's my problem with that. You are probably going to lose to this.
Yep.
You're going to lose to this, and lose to this, and more than likely that.
So that doesn't sound very good.
So, no, that doesn't sound very... I'd say you're definitely going to lose to Zapbeast, right?
Why?
Like, that's probably your worst matchup.
You have resistance to lightning. Or weakness to lightning and resistance to fighting.
Well, most of the builds run like Umbreon, Baby Ubrion with Spiritomb, and then a 2/2 line of Honchkrow GX.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
I'd say you pretty much auto win any Zorak matchup or anything that's DCE or triple boost energy dependent. So you might put a hurting on the Wheezing spread decks too. But I don't like your Charizard can perform without Heat Factory. I mean, if anything, you're gonna annoy Blacephalon because it can't use Ultra Space, right?
Right.
You're gonna annoy Zekrom Pikachu with when they can't play Viridian Forest a little bit, right? But does that really stop the big guy?
No.
No. And he's not tool dependent. None of these decks are choice band dependent decks because they can one hit KO without them.
Or special energy.
And they're not special energy dependent, nor is that. So, I think it was a very awkward it was at Origins, I believe Grant Manling played it. And I love the build of it, but I think the meta had to be just right. And in that meta, there was a lot of wheezing and stuff like that. And there was, I think, a few Zekroms. And so it didn't finish that strong, but still made top 8. So, you have anything on the Spiritomb?
That's crazy.
I think it's definitely pretty neat. I like to see. It all comes down to people are having more time to play and test these decks, and that's what you're kind of seeing.
And then they all rotate.
And that's why sometimes we're so far ahead of the curve. We're like, oh, this deck is good, but no one's really going to play it because they don't have enough time to test it. So, that's where we come in. Let us do the testing for you. The deck is good, but I would not recommend it for the simple fact of you lose, you probably lose to that, you definitely lose to that. It's just, what do you think, Dan Smear?
I don't like the matchups, which means I'm not a fan of the deck.
I don't either.
Is there anything else for tier 2?
For tier 2 that's going to be popular or played, I don't think so.
Alright. Is there any good decks here?
Yes, there are.
Alright.
Do you want to? Why you want to start chopping away at? So we can immediately eliminate Buzz Pheromosa, right?
Yep. The fire weakness. Not dealing with it.
You're going into a format with 2 or 3 different versions of Charizard Reshiram, version of Party Balloon, version of Baby Party Balloon. Leave Buzz Pheromosa in the binder. Right.
Let's go down the list right over. Gramble.
I think it's good, and there was a couple in the top 32, and I think in the special in Santiago.
I think it's tier 3.
I think it's good. I would put it in tier 3, but I just don't think people are going to play it.
It's good, but people aren't going to play it, and that's what tier 3 is.
Okay. Alright. So I agree with that.
Bisharp Shrine.
No Rogue. No one really knows about it. I don't think it hits hard enough too.
And you're going into a fire format.
Fire format. The meta would have to be specific. If you run into anything like this, Wheezing, it's an auto loss. Zapdos is going to put a hurting on you because you have 110. It easily hits that number.
Oh, yeah.
If that number was 120, then I'd say maybe, but no.
Quagsire.
Okay. This is I know it has a lot of potential. I know it's good. I know it's solid. I do not like the deck. I think if your opponent knows what they're doing, then they're just going to chase down your Whoopers, and that's the end of you.
Yep.
It has seen success with Quagsire, Naganadel,
Well, Lord.
and other stuff, but for me personally,
We haven't really seen too much success with the deck.
yeah, there was a few in the top 32.
I said we.
Oh, yeah, we haven't. But I think that's because kind of we know how to play the matchup. Maybe the people that are sitting across from it don't exactly know how to put enough pressure on it. I don't know.
True.
But I don't know what you got. I'm. This is one of the decks I get frustrated with. This one and the Zekrom deck.
Guess it goes here.
You think it's tier 3?
Yeah. Because, I mean,
I agree.
people have seen success with it.
I don't care for the deck, but I do understand that there have been a few in the top 32 at each regional. So
Yeah. Gardevoir.
Gardevoir, huh?
Yep.
Gardevoir Savali. If there was only a fighting or a fire fairy charm, you know?
Move those down.
How OP would that deck be if there was a fire fairy
Oh
charm?
my gosh. It would be crazy. Move all them down.
I don't see anyone playing it, which is kind of awkward because, you know, it still has problem with Charizard because Choice Band one-hit KOs it. And I think that's the biggest problem with the deck, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we're in a two-shot specific matchup, two-shot specific world, then Gardevoir's champion, right?
Oh, yeah. Super good.
But with Charizard being able to one-hit KO it, it would have to dodge the Charizard matchup completely, right?
Yeah, that's a hard loss.
And then even then, are you gonna if you dodge all the Charizard, how are you gonna dodge all the Blaziken matchups, right?
That's just too much.
So I cannot recommend it. Will there be a few? There probably will be a few. I don't think the deck is good in this format. After rotation, I think it
goes good again.
it goes really good. But right now, as long as there's Choice Band in the format, Charizard's going to be a problem. Big Blaziken, Baby Blaziken's going to be a problem. I like you here. I like this matchup.
I like you here.
But I know like the stuff that can just put a thrashing on you with the one-hit chaos.
This might put on too much pressure with the Zapdos.
Yeah.
Putting on 110. 110.
Yeah. If I remember right, yeah, in some of our tournaments it gave enough problems.
Yeah.
But then you got the weakness and you got the stall deck, where it's not going to be able to do enough damage to, 150 when you add in, all the metal frying pans and stuff like that, and then the GX attack can get rid of all your fairy energy. So I don't like this matchup either, right?
There's a lot of bad matchups.
Yeah, or stall. I don't like it against stall.
Rogue?
Yeah, it's highly, highly rogue, and I don't think it's that good in this format.
All right. Aerodactyl.
This is a hard one to place for me because there's been whispers of Aerodactyl in conjunction with Spiritomb. There's been whispers of an Aerodactyl with like wheezing. So there's been all these whispers and secrets going on about the Aerodactyl. And if people are keeping it hush-hush, then they're doing an excellent job. I think it's really good. It hits really hard. Loving the triple boost.
Okay, my thing with the triple boost is, what do you run? Triple boost, DC, or psychic energy?
You run triple boost, and then you run psychic.
Okay. You run.
But you could run a few DCEs. You could run like 4 triple, 2 DCE, and then the rest psychic.
The energy count scares me. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, I think people were also running. They were running, like 4 rainbow, 4 DCE, 4 triple, because Spiritomb. You run it with Spiritomb, and you can hit some massive, massive numbers.
That's still crazy.
It's I mean, there's whispers. I don't know the exact builds. I wish I had more intel, but I have kind of heard some stuff about Aerodactyl and Wheezing to get the numbers right.
It's like working for the government.
You're already playing DCE, so you're already playing like Malamar, so adding Wheezing in there to flesh out the numbers on Zekrom Pikachu or even Charizard.
On those big tag teams.
We already like it against these two, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
It has potential.
I don't like it against Zap Beast, but I do like it against the Party Balloons. And then if you get the right partner plus Shrine, think about that.
Yeah.
You know, once you add in Choice Band, the 180, 210.
Yeah.
And then if you add in a few ticks of this guy or Shrine,
230.
you're at the numbers.
Yeah.
Even if you attach DC and then do the 20 to everything, plus the tick, that's 30 damage. So, and then Shrine, that's 40 damage. So if you have Choice Band, 180, 210 plus 40, you're at 250. Right. So the numbers add up quick, and then if they can't bounce the Shrine, and if he's still in the active, that's a KO on Charizard. So
coming back into your turn, right?
And then when you factor in if they're playing like a Spiritomb version with Rainbow Energy, you know, you can put 5 damage counters on it. It does 10 plus, right? And it does what, 30? Is it 30 times? Yep, 30.
For each damage counter.
So 30 times 5.
160.
Plus the 10. And then Hustle Belt or Choice Band. You one-hit KO the Zekrom Pikachu.
Yeah.
Then Shrine Ticks. You're in range. Or this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be shocked to see some sort of Aerodactyl Spiritomb or Aerodactyl Wheezing. The imagination is almost infinite, you know? Yeah. You can get very, very creative to hit these numbers. And I think whoever puts in the time and the effort to figure out the absolute best partner for Aerodactyl
is going to see a positive
is going to see a lot of success, folks. So,
what else you got over there?
Some throwaways. Baby Charizard.
Definitely Rogue.
No one's going to play it. Doug Trio. Definitely Rogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab, what you got, Jolteon?
Yeah, I got Jolteon over here. Is that classified as Rogue now?
Yeah. I think people are going to opt to... I don't even see them teching it in to regular Zapdos builds. I think they're going to opt to just play Zap Beasts instead. So.
Zork, Venomoth, the weakness.
No one's playing it.
Flareon.
Nope.
I got Vikavolt.
This is a hard one to place too because there have been a couple knuckleheads that have made day 2 with it. I'm not a fan of the deck. I think there's better options. I think there's more consistent options. What do you think, Dance Bear?
I mean, they've made day 2, so I think that just shows that the deck is good and that people aren't playing it much. So I think that puts it in a tier 3 spot.
It's definitely interesting. Because when you factor in the attack, it's what, 120 plus
100.
So 220. Choice Band, you're at, the 250, then a couple Shrine Ticks. But you're Charge-a-Bug dependent for your energy. It's a stage 2. I would rather sleeve up Aerodactyl.
I'd rather play something else, I agree.
I would rather, if I'm going to play something like that, and I'm comparing it to Aerodactyl because they're kind of similar with how you have to manipulate the numbers to get a really good result. So, of the two, I think I would rather play Aerodactyl.
I agree. But it's seen success.
Okay, so go ahead and grab Rayquaza.
I see 3 bad matchups.
It's kind of fallen off the list here. Zekrom's gonna put an absolute beat down on you. If you're playing Weezing with any sort of shrine or anything like that, that's Rayquaza's worst enemy is shrine.
Yes.
It's gonna have trouble dealing with the stall deck because you go through the deck so fast, and it's gonna be hard for you to find Field Blower to get rid of Frying Pan or anything like that. Plus the reduction. So I mean, I can see you having problems with Lucario Melmetal. Party Balloon smashes you right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of the things that have pushed it out of the format. I'd say Party Balloon and Shrine have been the two biggest factors. I don't necessarily like your matchup against Zapdos either, honestly.
That's terrible.
We're choice band and a couple electro powers away from a big KO, right?
Yeah.
Charizard is going to absolutely smash you, and it's going to be tough to return the KO for a 270.
The matchups just suck.
Yeah, I don't even like it against Baby Blazefawn. It's going to easily one-hit KO you, right?
Yeah.
So, Zoroark Greninja. Greninja Zoroark. This is a very tough one to place. In the past, I would say absolutely go for it, but now I'm a little reserved because of Zapdos Zapbeast. If they sleeve up a Choice Band or the Beast Energy and hit you with a Sledgehammer, they are doing massive damage. Even if they just sleeve up the Beast Energy and Choice Band, they're hitting for 180. No way to really heal that. You could Acerola, but then you lose your energy into play. Not really a solid way of accelerating other than Darkrai GX from the... some people play with Naganadel. That helps out.
Buzzwall's just going to hit it with the ugly stick.
Charizard. I'm kind of 50-50 with the Charizard matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I do like about the deck. But Zekrom could give it problems if it sets up quick and just starts full blitzing. Baby Blazefawn could give you problems because that's just 5 fire energy, which is almost nothing to get, right?
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, with Welder and everything else. Lucario Melmetal could give you problems because they can discard all your energy with the GX attack. What you got, Dancing Bear?
It's just not looking good enough for it.
I think the deck is good. Zapbeast scares me.
Yeah.
If there wasn't Zapbeast, then I would actually, it would lean more to me recommending it for the play, but with Zapbeast, I think it's too risky.
I agree.
So,
Rogue or tier 3?
I think it's Rogue because not many people are going to play.
Alright, we got 2 more.
2 decks, and they're 2 of the most difficult to place because I have very mixed feelings on both of these.
There's not quite much more.
Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan. You want to start us off, Dancer Bear?
It can fight Charizard.
Yes, it can. I like it.
It can smash Zekrom Pikachu.
Yes, it can.
It's not looking too bad against Buzzball and Zapdos, especially with the Goomies.
Nah. Here's the problem with that is Zapdos has resistance. So, I mean, you're hit and run for 10.
That doesn't sound so good.
No.
Okay.
So, I don't like your Zapdos matchup. Zapdos is king of the one prize attackers until proven otherwise by Baby Blazefawn. Baby Zapdos is the king of the one prize.
Or the Cough Gang.
If they can take down the champ, but right now it's champ. It's been champ for the past, 3 months, 6 months? 4 months, 5 months.
A hefty while.
So I like Hitmonchan against a lot of the field here. I don't like it against Lucario Stall.
That's ugly.
You're not going to do enough damage. I don't like it against Wheezing spread decks because they're squishy. And I don't even think he can one-hit KO the Wheezing.
No.
So he's going to take a massive amount of damage.
But I think the Goomy helps a lot.
The Goomy does. It is groundbreaking. It can go toe-to-toe with Charizard. It can go toe-to-toe with Zekrom. Don't like the Zapdos. Don't like probably Big Party Balloon or Baby.
It can have a good fight against.
Because the Naganadel can one-hit KO it easily. You can't return the KO. It's difficult without Dojo and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily like the matchup against Party Balloon. Against this Party Balloon, it may be better. But this is able to one-hit KO, and this probably is going to struggle to get the one-hit KO.
Good point.
Because even if it has Diancie, that's 50. And then the Dojo, that's only 90.
Oh, yeah.
That's 90. So you're still 2-hit KO and Blazephon. And Blazephon's just going to knock out whatever you send up.
Unless you hit him with the 60 all around. And that sets up everything.
So, I think it's good. It's just, I'm not liking its bad matchups. I like its good matchup, Charizard. And Zekrom. But I'm not liking that it auto-loses that probably. And then Naganadel's going to give it problems. Baby Blazephon's going to give it problems. Weezing's going to give it problems. Lucario is definitely going to give it problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, where are you at with it?
I think I can go tier 3.
Okay. Final deck. And this could be... There's no specific version. It could be Rukan's gas version, or it could be our spread version, but it's basically Giratina, Malamar spread with spell tag, that sort of stuff. So, thoughts on that deck?
Nihilego helps in the Charizard matchup.
Well, so against Zapdos. Zapbeast has it too.
Mm-hmm. Because it's solid. Mm-hmm.
I love the Malamar deck against Charizard Reshiram.
Yeah.
I think we did a profile and we did a testing of it to prove it. And that matchup is firmly in the gas can spread. Malamar is favored, right?
Yeah.
I also like it against Zekrom unless the Zekrom deck plays 2 Zapdos. If the Zekrom Pikachu deck plays 2 Zapdos, then it could give this deck some problems. However, if you play the matchup right and you just streamline the Giratina, 130 HP can give Zapdos a lot of problems.
True.
But it goes the other way because then, Zekrom can just streamline 150, 150, 150, 150. So I'm kind of 50-50 on the Zekrom Pikachu matchup versus the Giratina. And I think what the tipping point for me in that matchup is this is more consistent than that.
True. Big true.
So with that being said, I would give this a 55-45. What do you think of that?
I agree.
All right. So that takes us to my problem with the deck, which is these two. Naganadel is going to...
No, it doesn't one-shot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had that backwards. Giratina can easily one-hit KO the Naganadel. Naganadel cannot return the KO against Giratina.
I don't think that matchup's that bad. In our testing,
It's not.
Giratina would smack the Blaze Fun.
I was trying to trick you there. I do really like the matchup of Giratina versus the big party balloon.
Because you still have the potential to one-shot the little Blaze Funds.
With
Or the big Blaze Fun. Not
with
little Blaze.
spell tag, placing 4 damage counters on anything, plus the ability.
And Shrine Ticks.
It can put a hurt on the old party balloon. And like we already talked about, the Naganadals are not safe whatsoever.
Keep them in the house.
You one-hit KO the baby Bless Funds.
And that's easier to set up than that.
This is easier to streamline than that.
Mm-hmm.
So far,
There's your problem.
yeah, you're going to take a hard L to any sort of probably stall deck. Because, I mean, you're going to place 4 damage counters. Eventually, you're going to knock out your own stuff. Before you knock out that guy, right?
Yep.
I mean, we're just being honest. So, yeah, any sort of stall deck is going to give you major problems.
Wheezing problems. Because eventually they're just going to knock out your mount. Well,
Wheezing is going to be a problem also.
is it?
Yeah, because
I don't
you do
know
the
that
tick, say on Inkays, right? And then you do the attack for 20. So the Inkays are at 30 damage. And then if you attack into it, remember you have to place 4 damage counters somewhere. And then all it has to do is attach DCE, your Malamar, one of your Malamars or something's wiped out unless you place it on Giratina.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Place it on Giratina.
We do not know how this matchup goes, right?
I'm leaning towards Giratina, honestly.
Okay. I could see both sides.
But it has the Cocos, right?
Yeah, it has Tapu Koko. But you could go into a build like the Aerodactyl, Spiritomb, Wheezing. But I mean, we're getting into tech options and all that garbage.
I don't know. It's going to take testing.
I could see both sides.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's tier 3.
I really like it against Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it against Zap Beast.
Too much pressure on the Malamars.
I 55-45 like it against Zekrom, right?
Right.
I love it against the Party Balloons.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take an L to stall and all that.
Yeah.
And then we're unsure about the Weezing matchup. So, if you can dodge the Zapdos and possibly the Zekroms, I really like it,
Yeah,
right?
It's not bad.
So, it's definitely a fair option, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's remove the junk.
Are we just going to talk about the safest options?
We're going to talk about our 3 safe plays.
Oh, 3.
Well, we'll come to an agreement. So, we're going to do our 3 safe plays, and then we'll do our what we would play to win. So,
Do we
if
have
we
to
just
take it all off?
No, just remove the garbage over here. Out of the way here. Here we go.
It's wave out.
All right, so if you want to make day 2, so that's what this is going to be. If you want to make day 2, what are you playing?
Blaze Fun.
That's your first pick.
I think it's ultra safe.
I could not agree with you more. We stated, 5 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago to play Blaze Fun. You know what? Someone listened. They took it to the regional at Madison. Guess what won?
Blaze Fun.
Blaze Fun.
Wasn't too much of a guess.
No. Super safe. Love it. Ultra consistent. It does what it does, and that's hit hard, hit fast. So, yeah, you can. There's enough room for techs. people are comfortable with it. People are confident with it. So yeah, I completely agree.
Next safe. I say Charizard. You're gonna get targeted, but
They're gonna come at you hard,
the deck's consistent.
but I don't think that's your biggest threat. Is people coming hard at you? It's mirror match.
Yeah.
So I think I would, if I'm going to take Charizard, I would have my buddy, my friend, girlfriend, wife, kiddo, whatever, sleeve up a Charizard list with like either Green Search or Miltank or Snorlax, and I would play, you know, at least 50 games. I know that's a lot, but I mean, you got to know how to play the mirror match, right?
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I would want to be playing the mirror match all day long.
True.
So while I agree, it is safe, but you're gonna have to learn the mirror match, right?
Indeed.
So what's your third safe play?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. You get this one.
Malamar. Gas can. Malamar spread is my third safe play.
All right.
People are comfortable with the deck. They know it. It's been around for months and months and months. It can beat Charizard and Reshiram. It can beat Zekrom, Pikachu. You are going to struggle against Zapdos.
We just talked about the matchups.
Yeah. So I think it's safe. If the party balloons are gaining popularity, there's another really good set of matchups for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think absolutely.
So that gives you the 3 safe. Now
here's your 3 safe.
What's the play?
The play? What is the play indeed?
We got it.
I think you have to go big or go home, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if we're going big,
You're
then
gonna go home.
We're going Quagsire. If we're going big.
What's the play? And this is hard because on one side of me, I think people are going to get super creative and bring something slick.
I'm thinking of 3 decks.
See, I was thinking of Aerodactyl, and I was thinking of Wheezing.
I'm thinking of those 3. The matchups are interesting with this one. And that might be crazy. And that's gaining momentum and might be super strong.
I think Wheezing has a very, very good chance to take the whole thing. We don't have it on the safe.
No.
Because I don't think the list is 100% dialed in. And I don't know how much time people are going to spend. Because we just saw it do really well at Origins, which happened literally last night. So that gives people the Intercontinental starts Friday of next week. So that gives them less than a week to dial the list in perfectly.
You're right.
I don't think people are going to opt to do that. I think they'll opt to play lists that are already seeing success over a longer period of time. And so I think
I'd put in that order.
That's your winning order?
Yeah.
I think Charizard Reshiram, I think with enough people playing it, that it can come out on top. And for that reason, I also think Zekrom Pikachu.
See, are we just talking about decks that are going to do good or the play?
Oh, the play? Well, I was saying what would win. I think Charizard is going to win. And then the second deck that might win. What? What, Dancing Bear?
Idiot.
What? What do you want me to do?
I said, what is the play? And we were
What is
talking
the
about
play?
we were talking about the play, and then you're over here. I think this deck's gonna win, and you're just putting down our tier 1. Like, I mean,
Okay.
it's tier 1 for a reason.
There's your play.
It's safe and strong.
Yes. Until proven otherwise by my testing or any other testing, Party Balloon is not only the safest, but it's the winning play. However, I do think Charizard will win. And then Zekrom Pikachu.
Stop. You
Well,
want to
you
keep going?
3.
I picked 3 crazy decks.
That's how you are. That's how you seniors think.
Who even knows if anybody's gonna play any of these 3 decks? Well,
I know that they're going to play these 3. No, they're going to play Weezing.
Yeah.
Yes, Weezing is going to be really good.
Who knows if they play these?
Any sort of Weezing build is going to be super spicy. Right?
Yeah. Good luck.
I love it. I love it if they play the Weezing. So.
And the Zekrom somewhere.
So yeah, so we have our safe play. We have our what we would play to win. What is going to win? That's what I think is going to win. I think Charizard Reshiram will end up winning.
Probably.
And it'll probably be a finals of like Zekrom, Pikachu versus Charizard.
Well, if I don't get to pick that, then I'm going for Blaze Fun.
Baby or big?
Biggest. Bigger is better.
So you think something like that?
Sure. Let's go for it.
Is that your final?
This is my final.
That's the finals right there, folks. And I'll tell you right now, if this is the final, Party Balloon wins.
Hey.
From our testing, everything points in that direction.
Just don't scrub out.
I hope y'all are excited for it. If y'all are going, best of luck to you. Hopefully this video helps you prepare. I know we don't have every single deck. Most of our decks right now are already post-rotation. So, with Unified Minds. So, we did our best. We are going on vacation. So, you're not going to see any videos from us until next Friday. So, we get back the day the Intercontinental starts. And so, we'll probably try to do some videos covering that. But hopefully all this information helps. That's what we're trying to do. There's probably decks that we missed out on, that we forgot. Doing our best. Don't bomb us in the comments.
Maybe we should live stream the Intercontinentals.
No, let's not. So, got anything else, Dancing Bear?
Good luck.
Best of luck to y'all. Have fun. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy it.
Especially if it's your first time.
Don't stress too bad. It is kind of overwhelming. It's the biggest tournament of the year, so it's going to be completely packed. But there in Columbus, it's a great venue.
Go wreck some noobles.
It's a lot of fun. You're going to meet new friends. So, it'll be a lot of cool stuff. So, all right. Anything else?
If you do well, tell us
let us know.
Played.
Let us know if this meta forecast helped you or not. And if it didn't help you, if you hit Incineroar every single round, let us know. I don't think you will. So, anywho, y'all be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.